What's dudes, Jake here. Today we're working on the 92 F1 build. We're getting started on the spare tire mount right now. I'm also working on the frame rails, gonna patch up these holes so everything's smooth. And we also gotta do it up here at some point, but we're thinking we're not gonna do that until the bottom half of the truck's off for paint, so we're not messing anything up. But yeah, so I got some templates cut out here and I just need to cut them out and then we'll weld them on here and then grind them down smooth, so you won't even know that they were there. This piece right here is going to be part of the spare tire mount, and we just have to cut it out right now because the hole's a little bit small, but we'll explain what this piece is for in just a second.
All right, so I just got done cutting out the little rubber piece for this spare tire mount. Our plan for this is going to go inside of the wheel like this right here, kind of hold it in. What we're going to do is kind of like a knockoff spare tire mount. So we have this right here. This will all make sense once it's on the truck, but this is going to end up going through that. This piece of tubing is going to sit actually in the rubber piece to isolate it, and then on top of the tube here, oh god, top of the tube we're going to have a piece of plate that actually sits on this, and then the spinner is going to go like that out of a piece of tube. And then ideally the thought process is you're gonna be able to not have to have a bunch of bolts in the wheel to hold it on, or like a tie down or anything like that. It's literally just gonna be like a spin on type deal. So Jake's got the plate for the bottom side here.
Yeah, so I just cut this out. It's kind of like a little Superman thing, but basically what this is gonna do, it's gonna go up to these tubes right here and mount, and it'll be welded in. And then we'll have a hole right here for that all thread to come through. There's going to be a nut tacked on the back side of this so that it can thread through right there. So we just got to figure out where to drill the hole, get that done, get it all tacked up, and then you'll kind of see what we're talking about. As it goes together, it'll make a lot more sense. All right, so we got everything cut out and tacked up. We just got the lower piece tacked on here. Can't really see it, but there's a bolt up here as well. And then the all thread's coming through, and that's tacked to this tube right here. And then up top, you got this rubber piece that's holding the whole spare down, and then we just got a flat piece right here, and we're getting ready to weld this little bar on here, and that's what we're going to use to be able to twist it. So that's what's going to thread and unthread the bolt that's going through. Yeah, everything's tacked up, looking nice. Now we just got to final weld it all and get this piece on, and the spare tire mount will be all done. So we got this bar all welded in final, and we capped the ends off and ground those down so everything's smooth. And so basically, to get this thing off, it unspins just like a normal bolt would, goes through the threads. And so this is basically the whole piece we made. This rubber little chuck is what holds the tire in place. And yeah, it's basically just a Y that'll hold the tire down. So now we got to pull the tire off. That's already finally welded. We got to get that plate down here all finally welded. And we're just going to pull off this whole rack because this is our trunk. And then this is all going to get TIG welded. So everything will be done and we can put this piece on for final.
Handling it.
All right, it's pretty close to the end of the day. I just kind of want to show you where we got today. It's a lot easier to see the spare tire mount when the spare is actually not on here. So we started off with just this plate down here and welded the nut to it. And then we have this all thread, which slides perfectly into an 1.5 inch tubing. And then we just cut out 3/16, just circular plate. And then we welded this bar to it. This is like what, like a 55-degree bend in it?
Yeah, like 60.
So around 60, and we got the ends capped off super nice. Yeah, this is a lot easier to see kind of what we were doing without the spare in there. And there's that plastic piece that goes right here that basically clamps down the whole spare. So that's that. And then down here, we got the frame rail. We got some pieces done for it. We'll just slide in like that. And I got some for here as well. And basically we'll just weld that and then grind it smooth, and it'll be just like nothing was ever there. So it'll patch up the holes all nice. I'm glad we got the spare mount done today. Welds are all looking pretty nice. Yeah, you pumped on the day's work or what?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Took a lot of time to get this spare tire mount done, but never done it before.
Yeah, it's the first time we've done it. It seems simple in theory, but once you getting everything square and whatnot, it takes some time. We had to tack this piece on and redo it a couple times just to make sure everything's level and square. But we got it. I'm glad it's all done. This, once the trunk's actually done, when this is open, all you'll see from the bottom, I'll open it real quick. All you'll see from the bottom is just the thread, so it's nice. So there's no bolt or anything that you're gonna see when you're opening the trunk. Like, that's not too bad to look at. And this will all be paneled in eventually as well, once we get to that. All right, it's a new morning. We're actually up here at the front of the truck, so we're gonna be working on a few things up here today. We're gonna be trying to mount this intake right here. And it's just all 4-inch tubing back into this UMP filter. And why are we using this filter over just like an original, just kind of cone filter?
A lot of off-road trucks use this filter just because that filter itself is actually in this canister. So what that does is you have your outer filter here, which kind of filters everything going into the filter. It just makes sure that when you're in the dirt and the dust, it doesn't suck a bunch of dirt into the motor. It's just more protection. And these also flow a lot better than like a normal, like a K&N filter or something like that. So these motors definitely take a lot of air. So having something like this is way more beneficial for an off-road truck. And a lot of dudes actually run this on like a turbo setup too. So we got this kind of started already. What we did is we got a bunch of this like flex material, flex tubing. We got the 90-degree 4-inch piece already. It's already made. So what we did is we cut this down to fit over the intake, and then cut this piece down to fit kind of where it sits good in the truck. So in theory, this should slip right on the throttle body like that. And it's gonna end up sitting something like that. And then all we gotta do is just make a bracket to mount off the little tabs that are already on this filter, and then tie it into the core support somewhere. So that's what we're gonna be starting on right now.
We actually originally bought a bigger filter than this, and it was huge.
Yeah,
so
it did not fit.
It was way too big. I think it was 5-inch right here.
Yeah, it was 5-inch inlet.
Super big. So we had to downsize. This one fits a lot better. The LS motor makes it pretty easy because the intake literally just shoots out the front, so it's pretty easy to route something like this. It's not all complicated. But yeah, we'll get those tabs done and see how this thing sits in here. All right, so we got a design made for the air filter, and we actually got it all cut out. It's all tacked up right now. Let's check it out. So what we ended up doing is just mounting a tab off the core support here, and it's kind of at a diagonal angle, so you're getting support from like 2 axes. And then we got a tube coming out. This is just some 1.5 inch, and it bends at a 45 or 90-degree angle. It's 2 45s mashed together, and it comes out. And then we got a tab coming off right here with a little dimple in it, which bolts directly into the airbox here. And right now, if you noticed, we got the truck at full bump in the front. Let's see if I can zoom out.
Full bump and full lock.
Yeah, full bump and full lock. And the tire spins freely. We got some good clearance up to the airbox. It's kind of hard to get an angle on here. It looks looks smaller with on the camera. But yeah, everything's full bump, full turn, and it clears. So now we know that this mount's gonna work perfectly. We got to replicate this piece for the bottom as well, because there's 2 more bolts down there. But everything looks good. It's all level and square. So we're gonna have to pull this out, weld all of it up. On the end right here, we're gonna cap it too and make it all clean. But yeah, we can put the truck back on its own weight and get this mount done up. While the truck's at full bump, we had to take the front shock off. So I kind of just want to show you how big this thing actually is. It's a 3.5-inch internal bypass. It's what is it, 16 or 14 long? So it's a 14-inch stroke. This is it right here off the truck. Thing's massive. Just to get a comparison, this is a 2.5 rod end, and that's how big the whole shock is. It's honestly ginormous. It takes up the whole tailgate. But yeah, we don't really know how these are gonna run on the truck. They should run awesome.
Yeah, should run pretty good.
But
finned resis and compression adjusters should make it a little bit better too, at least for adjustability with the compression adjuster.
But yeah, I'm excited to see how these are gonna do on the truck, and it's only a matter of time till we're gonna actually find out.
Yep.
But yeah, time to get the truck back together and that piece all welded. So we got the whole structure out of the truck. Christian's just working on TIG welding all the little joints. And we made this bottom piece outside of the truck just so things would be easier, but we matched them so everything's the same there. Yeah, so he's just been working on that. He's letting it cool right now before he gets started again. And we just got these little pieces tacked on the frame so I can finally just grind everything smooth and there's no more holes. We went back and also just welded these little spots where there's gouges in the frame, so now it's just going to be super smooth. We got the frame all patched up. Still got to go back on a couple spots. There's some little gouges that we're going to have to refill and grind down again, but way smoother than before. And Christian got this piece all welded up as well. Just out here chilling, cooling down a little bit. It's all cool by now. But yeah, you got everything done. All the welds are looking super good. And so now it's just time to put this back in. The filter just goes on by these straps, if you didn't already notice. But yeah, this piece took honestly most of the day. Just getting all these tabs cut alone took, like, just for the tabs, probably 30 to 45 minutes. Then you gotta drill all the holes, dimple die, fit everything up, tack it, like move the welder over to the front of the truck, tack weld it, and then bring it all to the table and weld it all up and make sure everything still fits. So it's pretty time consuming for a custom part like this, but it's better than just doing some big ugly tab like off of a tube or something. Everything's back in the truck again. It's all clocked. Came out really nice. What we could have done, which would have been a little bit easier, is just come off the tube right here with a flat plate. But once you're looking up under the firewall like this, it would look like crap. It'd just be a big flat plate. And also, when we go to mount the resis, we're thinking about mounting them right here somehow on this tube. So if we had done that plate, there would have been no room for it, so we would have been kind of screwed there. So yeah, this is a lot cleaner. You don't really see it from underneath, but when you're looking up in the truck, you just see kind of a nicely done kind of support for it. So it came out super clean. I'm pretty pumped on it. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. We did the spare mount, we did the air filter mount, and we messed with the frame rails a little bit. If you guys want more, like in one video, just let us know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.